That clip you just saw was fully real. I'm literally just a 16-year-old kid like anyone else. I wake up, I trade meme coins before school every morning, and somehow that little routine has made me over $300,000 in the last 30 days alone. I know those numbers seem insane, and honestly, a lot of people have probably already clicked off this video thinking I'm straight up lying. But here's the thing, every single trade you're about to see me make is fully verifiable on chain. Every profit, every loss, every stupid entry I took, it's all public for everyone to see. But if you're not advanced with crypto and you don't really understand how on-chain works, you can come over to my Twitch every single day and you can see me live trading these coins. Now, to make this video actually useful and not just me flexing the trades, I'm literally just showing you what has actually happened in the last 30 days, breaking down my trades and everything you could learn from them. I've structured everything into 3 chapters. Each chapter breaks down one trade, the setup, the decision, the outcome, and the lesson behind it. And each trade I'll be covering focuses on a different lesson. Confidence, adaptability, and understanding crypto culture. Those 3 things alone shaped everything I had this month and kept my momentum speed rolling throughout the whole month. Chapter 1, confidence. Now, being confident in your trades and your skills sounds cliche or even cocky, so to put it, but it is something I learned after making my series studying Memecoin millionaires, specifically flipping profits, as his favorite quote and key takeaway I got from researching his strategy was that if you don't enter a trade confidently, you've already lost before it started. And this is exactly what I applied onto the next trade I'm about to show you. This was the exact coin that I made the first bit of money on. As you can see, I invested around 10.5 thousand and I ended up making $32.2 thousand from this coin. So obviously a pretty fat trade just by itself, being, you know, more than a 4x on that much size. As you can see, the coin was a South Park Sucks Now coin. Let me explain the narrative real quick before I go into my actual thought process on why I bought so much of this coin. So the narrative on this was very simple and normies could understand the narrative. As you can see, it was a South Park episode that was basically making a mockery or making a meme of, you know, meme coins as a whole. So it's obviously going to be very focused on meme coins, and I was trying to price in a lot of different things when taking this into account. Also, when the trade actually dropped, this video wasn't out for the public. It was just people talking about it on Twitter, as the South Park episodes usually get leaked a few hours before they get released. So when I originally bought it, I didn't actually know whether the thing was real, whether it was fake, or it was, you know, a bundle rug or something like that. As you can see what I'm talking about on the chart here, if we go onto a smaller time frame, you can see I actually had a 46,000 market cap entry on this coin. As it was a vamp, there was a coin before this with the wrong ticker. As you can see, it's South Park Sucks Now, and the ticker is SPSN, as it should be, as each character at the start of the word, but someone spelt it wrong originally and it was SPCN, which is completely wrong and an obvious vamp opportunity. So I bought this just as a vamp, as a quick scalp, as I didn't know what it was originally. So you can see here me selling very early for quite a small profit, you know, maybe 3 sol, 4 sol, which is, you know, just $500, $600 on a coin like this is actually insane. But at the time I didn't fully understand what it was about. As I said, this video was not out, there was not much information on Twitter, the links on the coin were all messed up, there was nothing really that could explain the narrative. So I had to do some more deep dive in my call with my friends whilst it was happening. Basically, what I saw wasn't full confirmation that it was real, but I saw this X community called South Park Sucks Now. So it was obviously a new episode that people had seen and people were speculating upon on what the topic was. And if you scroll down through the subreddit, at the time, there was people talking about crypto coins. So obviously I just speculated and I guessed that they must have launched this crypto coin within the episode, which did end up being true. And as you can see in the community as well, there is a lot of speculation even now about, you know, people making fun of the coin. They're like, oh, if they made this rug pull within the show, someone should make a real one. It'd be funny if someone made a real one. It's a very easy narrative, or, you know, purpose for the coin for people to understand. It's like, this is a regular user, nothing to do with crypto, and he's saying, when are we making SPSN coin? And you scroll down, there's already people saying already launching it on pump.fun. So it was very obvious that this coin was bound to blow up and people were bound to catch on that this coin was something really good, and the upside was much better than the downside, as I already stated. So you can see I was confident. There was no dips upon this journey. As you can see, this coin was so good, there was no dips until I started selling at a much later date. So at 300,000, I top blasted. I bought $10,000 worth of the coin. Right on top, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle. Usually I tell people to wait for dips, but I was confident in my trading abilities. I was confident in what I was doing, that I could blast on top and be sure that I was likely going to make money, and this was a good risk versus reward trade that I was making. And so it was, and you can see I did sell it very, very early with a 1.7 million average, but it still ended up making me over 30,000. The funny thing about this trade was if I just held it for a few more hours, I would have ended up making around 100,000 plus over here if I sold it, just not even a day later. But when you trade, you need invalidations and you need profit targets. My personal profit target was between 2 to 3 million, and I sold my initials slightly early, but most of the sales were in the 2 to 3 million range, as you can see here. Now from this trade, I learned a few things. The first being that when big opportunities present in crypto, you need to approach it with a mindset of what it could become. Obviously, I didn't have full confirmation it was real. The South Park episode wasn't dropping that day, it was dropping the next day, and there was no one interacting with it at the time. But I had to price these things in when I was entering so early so I could get a good price entry. Obviously, if I had bought once everyone else had already started talking about the coin, people knew it was 100% real and there was more confirmation, there's less friction for people not being able to buy it. The reason why I could get in so early is because people were scared on the sidelines. They didn't know if it was real. They didn't want to take the educated guess. They didn't want to take the gamble on the coin that it was real. And so a result of that was them buying at a much higher price, say 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, and they likely lost money on the coin for waiting for too much confirmation. Another lesson I learned from this trade was letting the narrative play out. To be completely honest with you, I make mistakes. Everyone in trading makes mistakes, and obviously you can see a huge mistake I made here. My average sell on the price line is 1.7 million, and the coin topped that over 10 million almost. So obviously I didn't let the narrative play out. I didn't let the tweets commence. I was pricing it in too early. I only held for around, 30, not even 30 minutes, 20 minutes. I let my mindset get ahead of me, and my mindset controlled my trade. If I traded, confidently and fully with a clear mind, I would have made a lot more money selling around the 4 to 5 million market cap range. Chapter 2, Adaptability. Obviously, you need to be confident in yourself, but you also need to be aware of your surroundings, and that's where adaptability comes in. So the thing I'm gonna actually be breaking down is actually 2 trades, but it's on the same narrative. They were just on different chains. One was on Solana and one was on BNB, because I learned to adapt. I originally bought the Solana coin following an Elon Musk reply that's no longer up, but it basically said I bought scam coin and lost it all, and Elon put a laughing emoji because obviously he found it pretty funny. They were making fun of meme coins, and this was the chart for the original scam coin. This was the one on Solana that I originally blasted into. As you can see, I lost over $3,000 on this, buying around 9.3 thousand and selling down here for about a $3,000 loss. As I said, I was DCAing, I was full in conviction that this was a runner, and I was really confident in this trade. But the thing I did to adapt was I reread the tweet. You can see here it says, "Mum walks in, asked me why I'm driving a Binance future at 3 a.m. It makes so much more sense. It's on the Binance chain, as the tweet actually mentioned Binance. So I went over to Binance chain and I did end up bidding some scam coin on there, the same exact narrative at the same time on the same day, as a hedge originally. So in case this one went down and this one went up, I just originally bid a little bit. I then ended up selling. As you can see, I sold the Solana one, seeing this one was much better, and I started buying more and more and more of this coin. I ended up buying around $11,000 worth of the coin, and as you can see, I turned around a $34,000 profit, which was very, very nice, especially after this kind of loss on this coin. And this was because I adapted. I adapted after rereading the tweet. I understood that it mentioned Binance, so it's probably not going to be on Solana, and also at the time, BNB, like the Binance Smart Chain, was very, very hot. So a lot of the coins that were even not mentioning Binance was already run on this chain, so I made 0% chance for it to make sense on Solana, as well as the fact that the people in the Solana coin were more aggressive sellers. So they were very more aggressive with selling. So obviously it's going to be held back and held into a range like this until people get shaken out, where BNB was almost only up the whole time in the trade. Now, what lesson can you take away from this trade? From these two trades, you can see that meme coins isn't a thing about always being right. It's about realizing when you're wrong and adapting as quick as possible. I realized I was wrong and saved myself so much money from not holding this coin and selling it whilst it was still up and rotating over to this other coin that made much more sense for this narrative. And it ended up playing out nicely, as you saw, with a $33,000 profit. Chapter 3, Understanding Crypto Culture. Now, obviously, when you're going to be in crypto for a while, you'll start to figure out more and more characters as you go, and people outside of Elon Musk that interact with coins that makes a coin good. They have a lot of influence from either past trades or they're a founder. In this case, it was the founder of Solana. And this was the exact tweet that spawned the coin. It says, "Hey, we the trenches, the people you guys don't like to support, have without a doubt, with no support from the foundation, onboarded more to Solana than anyone else with memes. Trump launched a Solana because the trenches made meme coins popping." So they're basically saying you need to spawn a runner from this tweet because the trenches have been dead for a while before this. And before this, trenches had also been struggling from vamp attempts. A vamp is basically when a big coin goes up and then they find a small problem within the coin. Say it's a spelling error, a bad picture, just anything really about the coin they can find wrong with it. They will try to do a vamp, which is basically send the new coin higher as people can get lower entries and they can make more money off that new coin rather than just bidding the old main runner. As a result, Tolly replied to the tweet and said, "Why do you need me? If everyone simply bought the same coin and never sold, then there would never be any problems." So he's basically addressing this vamp issue that was already ingrained in crypto culture and people have hated for a while. It's not like he was the first person to bring this up. There's been hundreds and hundreds of tweets on vamps about why people don't like them, why people, use them, why people don't use them. It's a big talking point within crypto culture. So understanding crypto culture is really crucial to understand the big players and also about this, just the culture in general. So obviously I knew this was the perfect opportunity to send a PvE runner. There's not going to be any vamps on a coin that totally asked to bring. So obviously same coin, as you can see here, I bought same coin, which came out a few seconds after the tweet. The funny thing is about this coin is I was actually sleeping when the coin came out, and I'll pop up a quick video of me trading the coin. Bro, people didn't see the vision. It's a 5 mil runner, bro. Come on, boys, we about to be paid. But yeah, when the coin came out, I actually was asleep and I woke up, I logged into my PC and I saw the coin come out and it was only at 500,000 market cap, which I was very overly bullish on. Yeah, if you see here, this was the exact trade. It came out over here. I wake up, it was out for about 20 to 30 minutes and I started buying and buying and buying. And then Solana actually ended up tweeting, "Okay, fine, CA question mark." They were asking for the CA of this exact coin address, which was obviously going to push the coin. They've never mentioned CA before. They've never asked for a CA ever in their career. So obviously when the main chain that you're trading on is asking for the CA of the coin, it's going to pump. So as you can see, it pumped from 500k to over 2.2 mil, which was insane in just around 3 1-minute candles, as you can see over here. You can then see me selling out the coin slowly. I did rebuy up. That's why my P&L's kind of messed up. It only says 21k and invested 35k, but that is wrong because I did rebuy, like $25,000 here. So I'll pop up the real P&L right now. So as you can see, I made tons of money on this coin from just understanding the crypto culture. This coin wasn't just spawned because of the tweet. The coin was spawned because of a issue in the crypto culture, an issue with vamps that people didn't already like and totally recognized that and totally spawned a runner because of that. The community wanted to send it higher. Obviously I had much higher targets for this coin, to be honest with you. I had like 5 to 10 mil targets, but the truth is it doesn't always play out your way and you need to adapt. As I already taught you before, adapting is one of the best things that will make you the most money in the trenches. So what lessons can you take away from this trade? The number one lesson is you're not always too late. If you think something's mispriced, you can always, if you're 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes too late, you can always still top blast the coin. As you can see, I top blasted again. It was pretty similar to that SPSN trade I showed you earlier, although this one was just stagnant rather than being only up. And I was trying to price in, Totally interacting with it again, Mer interacting with it again, Solana interacting with it, which I actually did get priced in, although Totally didn't interact with it again, Solana did, which was almost a better result overall. As I said before, you need to price in the narrative before it actually plays out. And as you can see, I ended up being the very top trader on this coin, and that is how I made over $25,000 on this coin. Now, to give a quick summary to the video, this is everything combined into one last little section. I made over $90,000 in 3 trades with a hold time of less than 6 hours combined, which is absolutely crazy. If you think about how many trades you make over a month, 3 trades alone, $90,000, you can definitely see how this starts to stack up, especially with multiple $10,000, $5,000, $20,000 trades, even $30,000 trades that I didn't show in this video in the last 30 days. If you go up here, you can see from SPSN, you can learn that confidence is key and to price in narratives early, because although I did price in the narrative, I didn't wait for the narrative to play out. So I should have allowed the narrative to play out when pricing these narratives in early. It's very, very, very important to get good entries and to also hold and sell almost the tops. The next thing you can learn is from the 33k P&L on Scamcoin is to keep an open mind and adapt when needed. As I said before, Memecoins is realizing when you're wrong to switch up on it as soon as you can. If you can catch your losses at 5, 10, 15, 20%, it is much, much better than, holding them down for 50%. Even if people call you a G, call you this, call you that, that is how you're going to make more money in the long run. Realizing when you're wrong, keeping an open mind, and then switching to the more optimal strategy, the most optimal play that you can in your situation that you're given. The last coin and the last takeaway that you have is that same coin that I just showed you, and is to stay active and aware of crypto culture. In crypto, you need to be online for 16 hours a day, 8 hours a day. If you're not on for 8 hours a day, obviously there's a less chance of you making money. If you didn't know who Tolly was, you didn't know the significance of vamps in the trenches, you would not have caught this coin and you would not have made 22k on it, which is definitely something you should keep in mind when you're trading. You need that other people are going to be on 16 hours a day, whether you're not on 16 hours a day. There are going to be, the Cupsies, the Centeds, the DVs, they're going to be on 16 hours a day, perfecting their craft and realizing their wrongs and correcting their rights to make sure that they stay on top of the trenches and stay active and aware of crypto culture. Overall, this is just a small sneak peek into my trading. Obviously, if you like this video, I am going to drop more videos like this one where I break down trades that I made in the past month, and I'm also going to showcase more of my trading rather than just straight up tutorials in the future. So hopefully you did like this video. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.